Shalom Yisrael. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ruchak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the Ofle Akim that's preached the word in all truth and sincerity, along with your Israelite foreigner brothers that like the heathens. But the line of outside goes back to the nation of Israel. Which nation of Israel are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? Through the prophecies and curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter and throughout the Bible. So this is brother Yakar Amar back a lesson. And today's lesson I'll be going to Psalms the 83rd chapter. And Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemon Shai. You know, and as you better see the title, that Esau scholars called it, God or Yahweh implored to confound his enemies. You know, so I'll be going to it, and let's start with verse 1. Psalms 83. It says, a song or psalm of Asaph. It says, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. Yeah, because we want the Lord, Yahweh Shemon Shai, to be making moves in the earth. See, as long as the Lord, hold his peace, if the Lord was to hold his peace forever and be still, these heathens, they will keep continuing to be proud. So that's why we want the Lord to judge these heathens and make moves in the earth to make, these heathens tremble, at his power. You see, it says in verse 2, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Right. So our enemies have made a tumult. And I looked up the word tumult, which is really tumultuous. It says making a loud, confused noise, a roars. Because these heathens are in an uproar against us Israelites. Because remember, they know, beginning on what Esau eating, these heathen nations, they know who we are. They know that we are the true Israelites. And, it's a big uproar against us that we're not the true people of the Lord. And Esau is trying his best to hide that greatest secret in the earth, you know, for not everybody to wake up to the fact that who the true Israelites are, which is us, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. It says, for lo thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head, meaning these heathens, they have gotten very prideful, because these heathens hate us, and hence why the Lord said, you shall be sold to your enemies, you know, um, to all that hate thee. So these heathens, man, they hate us, man, with a great hatred, and we hate their ass too. Us in the truth. Us um, that have woken up to the fact that we have true enemies. And it's gonna list them when we go to verse 6. But let's keep going. In verse 3, it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And right, what's that crafty counsel? Because these heathens begin on with Esau, Edom. They have you know they have certain meetings. The G2 summit, the Bilderberg meetings. Their general assemblies. The World Economic Forum. That's where this examples of where they take crafty counsel against our people, to keep us in a low estate, you know, having counsel about poisoning our food and, you know, setting up new celebrities amongst our people, which I sell out to have our people to go off by, making rap videos about murdering and killing and, smoking and, things of that sort. So that's how they take crafty counsel against us, you know, by way of their meetings. The World Economic Forum, once again, the G2 summits, the Bilderberg meetings, the General Assembly, so on and so forth. You know, It says, and consulted against our hidden ones, and we are the Lord's hidden ones. That's Israelites, because most of our people are hidden to the fact that they don't know that they are the true Israelites. You know, and like I was saying earlier, it's the biggest secret on earth on us so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, us being the true people of the Lord, the true Hebrew Israelites. You see, it says, verse 4, it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off for being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And right, man, and this came to pass, because in the last days, the Israelites, um, you know, uh, they will be calling themselves bywords pursuant to the curses. They won't be calling themselves by their true biblical names until the elect be woken up to the truth. You know. Now, when you go to Deuteronomy, just want to get that real quick. The curse, you know, um, Deuteronomy 28 and verse, um, is it let's see, by words. Yep. Let's see. Forget where that scripture is at. I haven't been to that one in a while. By word. Yep. Okay. This is Deuteronomy 28:37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations where the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee. And that's what happened. Us Israelites, we were called bywords, Negroes, niggas, Spics, Mexicans, Native Americans, you know, um, uh, uh, Salvador, Puerto Rican, so on and so forth. Those are bywords that was placed upon us by the so-called white man, and hence why we discontinued from our heritage, And so let's read Psalms 83 and 4 once again. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. And that prophecy happened, because, it was a point in time, when we didn't know who we were, you know, us in this truth, it was a point in time we didn't know that we were the true Israelites, you know. But, through the valley of dry bones being woken, the great awakening came, in the late 60s to the early 70s by way of Albert Bivens, which was John the Baptist, coming back. It's like Elijah the prophet coming back in the reincarnation, to turn the sons' hearts to the fathers and the fathers' hearts to the sons, you know. So that was the beginning of the nation of Israel coming back, to call themselves the Israelites, you know. So this prophecy came to pass. It says, verse 5 says, for they have consulted together with one consent, so they all on one accord. They are confederate against thee. Confederate, I believe it means allied. Let's look it up real quick. Confederate is from the Hebrew word Barayath, alliance. League, man to man. So they are all in league. They all on one accord. These heathen nations, begin on with Esau, Edom. To they're all against us. Verse 6, it says, and these are all the heathens that sing hoots with each other. Uh, Psalms 83 and 6, the tabernacles of Edom, tabernacles mean house. So the house of Edom, which is the so-called white man, and why did it say Edom first? Because Edom, they're in power right now. The Edomites, the so-called white people. It says the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, of Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarenes. Now, I looked at the word Hagarenes. You know, it said a Arab nation. Which this when you type it in, it doesn't mention. It's not a table of nations. So, but right here it says when you go right here to Strong's definition, a Hagarite or a member of a certain Arabian clan. So that's what the blue letter says. Now we know the blue letter goes off sometimes. but I never heard the apostles mention that. Uh, so I'm just gonna, I don't know who the Hagars is, but best believe they are a nation that's against us. Um, it says the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Gabal is another one. I looked that up and then have no can trace it back to a biblical nation. It says the Ammon are the Japanese. Amalek, them are the so-called Jays, the small hats. The people that's in our land today, you know, call themselves Jews. The Philistines, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, which are the Hamites, the so-called Africans. You know, Ashur, which are the Assyrians, um, also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. So all the heathen nations, they are all in cahoots with each other you know, um, to bring us down as a nation. They're all against us. It says, "Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kassan." Because we go into the history. Now, I'm not gonna go to the actual accounts, but I'll just give brothers what was going on during these times. So the Lord is saying, "Do unto them," meaning judge them like the Lord judged them at that time of in the book of Numbers and Judges. When the Lord was destroying these heathens. And as it says, the Midianites, which are the Arab nation. You can find that in Numbers 31. In Judges the 7th chapter. Because that's when Gideon, which he was a righteous man in the Lord. That's when he went against his 300 men, 300 Israelite warriors. They had went against the Midianites and they destroyed them. You know, and Sisera, that's in Judges the 4th chapter. He had ended up being he got killed by a woman. Which was a shameful thing in the ancient world. You know, Jael, what it says right here, Judges 4:21. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent and took a hammer in her hand and went softly, meaning, she snuck up on him, unto him, and smote the nail into his temples and fastened it into the ground. For he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. So, Jael, he he got killed by a woman, you know. So let's read it again, just to bring it back. Psalms 83 and 9, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kassan. So we want the Lord to jack these heathens up now as he did in the past, just as he did to the Midianites and to Sisera, as to Jabin, you know. So, in this, brothers can go back to those accounts and read them. Verse 10, it says, which perished at Endor, they became as dung for the earth. It says, make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, yeah, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmunna. And this was during the time of Gideon, because I wrote it down. Um, Zeba, Zalmunna were two Midianite kings, and Oreb and Zeb, they were the captains, so this was during the time of Gideon, during the time of Judges, you know. So, yep, Judges 7. I just read it. Judges 7:25, and they took two princes of the Midianites, Oreb and Zeb, and they slew Oreb upon the rock Oreb. And Zeb they slew out the winepress of Zeb and pursued Midian and brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon on the other side. So they was just, Gideon, was destroying them heathens, man, the Midianites. And brothers can, read the rest, but this is a this is a account right here you can read. Judges 7 and Judges 8. So, I'm not gonna read all of it just for the sake of time, but yeah, this how the Lord was destroying these heathens back then, the Lord's gonna do it again, but even greater. It says, verse 12, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Because these heathens, they always want to take over our land. Because remember, these heathens is envious of us, man. They envious that we have a God. They envious that we have everything set up. We have a priesthood, and We had the temple. They was jealous at those things. So when they, when the Lord will, send those heathens and conquerors, they will try to, you know, take, the house of the Most High in their possession. You know, it says, stealing all our gold and silver resources, vessels. It says verse 13, oh my, yeah, oh my God, Yahweh, make them like a wheel as a stubble before the wind, the nuclear wind, man. Because ultimately, that's how the Lord going to destroy the heathens in America through that nuclear wind, that nuclear destruction. That's going to come from the missiles. You know, it says, um, it says, verse 14, as a fire burning for wood and as a flame set at the mountains on fire, man. You know, so these heathens they're gonna be burned up. In that lake of fire. Because remember, only the elect of Israel is making it out of here in America. You know, these heathens, they gonna die here, man. But verse 15 says, so persecute them with thy tempest, you know, and make them afraid with thy storm, man. That nuclear storm, that nuclear tempest. You know, the Lord's gonna make everybody afraid. You know, with the missiles, man, and with the power of Yahweh Shai when he come back in the chariots of Israel, the so-called UFOs. It says, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yeah, let them be put to shame and perish, man. So let all the heathens, their military arsenal, their weaponry, their technology, the ICBM missiles, their super soldiers, artificial intelligence, you know, um, their fighter jets, the tanks, let all that shit be destroyed and confounded, man. And the Lord will destroy all this shit, you know. And they're gonna be confounded because they trust in their own strength, and they're gonna know that they are nothing but they are nothing but men. It says verse 18 says that man may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So the Yahweh by Shemashai name will be exalted. When this place America be destroyed, man. Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, their names will be exalted. They will get all the credit, for the destruction of this place and the salvation for the elect of Israel, man. And these heathens, it ain't gonna be no more Jesus Christ, and ain't gonna be no more Buddha, none of those things. No more idols. It's gonna be about Yahweh by Shimon Shai, man. You know. So yeah, I come from make a lesson on Psalms 83rd chapter. Lord willing, I was edified. And until next time, Shalom.